awardee of excellent service in both private and public service, a public speaker, and has delivered papers in over 20 tax conferences globally. My professional colleagues, I present to you Mr. Michael Olufemi Olarinde. Please join me to welcome him. I'm sure you'll all agree with me that we have with us here a very seasoned and experienced tax expert and chartered accountant. I welcome you warmly, sir. You are welcome. Thank you for joining us. It's a great pleasure having you with us today, and we look forward to a robust time. I would like to concede the floor to you now, and you will have this floor for the next 35 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me this morning. Let me, I would have loved to sit or to stand, since we are sitting, to sit on the existing protocol that has been established, but I will respectfully, I need to recognize the president of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, and who is ably represented by the vice president here, and recognize the vice president himself, recognize the registrar who is on this call, recognize the president of SWIT, and all the executive in the house. Thank you for inviting me. I thank the vice president for those kind words. Well, I just do what I can do to support our profession. When you believe in something, you do everything to ensure you speak about that thing. So thank you very much, and thank you for having me here today. I will be going straight into the presentation for today. Like you said, I have 30 minutes. It's 12 o'clock. And so in 12:30, by 12:30, I should be through. So without much ado, I will be sharing my screen immediately. I'm sharing my screen. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we
I hope
can.
you can see my screen.
Yes,
You can?
yes, we
Okay.
can. Yes.
Thank you very much. So, like our topic today, like we all know, is about the e-invoicing system in Nigeria. Understanding the e-invoicing system for tax administration in Nigeria. And I'll say as Nigeria advances its digital transformation agenda, these reforms also mark a pivotal shift in how commercial transactions and taxes are captured, reported, and enforced. This presentation will therefore explore implications on taxpayers and the broader tax administration system, highlighting opportunities for transparency, accountability, and efficiency in public finance. And so the background, in 2018, FIS commenced automation of VAT collection in key sectors, banking, cable TV, hospitality, branded superstores, e-commerce, and professional services. Our vice president was part of this larger work in 2018, working directly with the executive chairman. So I remember the role he also played. Nigeria, and after that time, we did a pseudo e-invoicing system, which was connected to some branded stores, like the ShopRite and the likes of the chain stores. However, that was we couldn't follow that through. And today, FRS is launching a full-scale e-invoicing system. At that time, there were challenges about the legality of deploying those fiscalized systems and e-invoicing. But right now, the law is so clear. And as we are going to be going on today, we are going to speaking about even the legal background and everything. So Nigeria is now launching a merchant buyer solution, e-invoicing system Full deployment was expected by July 2025. However, like the chairman, like it was said earlier, it has been moved to November 2025. And the e-invoicing, this aligns with Nigeria e-invoicing aligns with global fiscalization and VAT modernization trend. It is not a thing limited to Nigeria. In fact, at ATAF and Qatar, we've been asked to ensure we all deploy invoicing for better tax administration. So I say, why e-invoicing? This is a global shift towards that digitization of tax administration, like I said. The need to promote real-time fiscal transparency and economic planning, and also Nigeria's commitment to align with international standards like the UBL and the PEPO. The UBL and the PEPO are international standards in exchanging invoices. And of course, when you do cross-border transaction, it is only good and important that we align with the ways invoices are being transmitted, even across the globe. So if you're transmitting invoice to someone outside Nigeria, it's good for that invoice to be standardized because invoices are used beyond evidence of payment or evidence of transaction. Some even use invoices for banking as a means of financing. So, people sell contracts, they sell different things. So these are means of financing. It's a dynamic business. It is a dynamic business environment. So there is need for e-invoicing. The growing digital transaction volumes. People can no longer be issuing, people who make supplies per seconds. In seconds. Imagine those who sell softwares, those who sell, and they sell to many people. Or imagine the e-commerce sites, like the likes of the Alibaba, the Temus. They sell to millions of people over the world. And if they need to issue paper or fiscal invoices, imagine how long it will take them to do that. So it's a growing digital transaction volumes. And it's also overall, it curbs tax fraud, it blocks revenue leakages, and broadens tax base. This is why e-invoicing. Now, we also hear about VAT fiscalization. So when we hear about fiscalization, and e-invoicing. Is there a difference between fiscalization and e-invoicing? Fiscalization is a general trend for electronic transmission of information. So it's a process of ensuring, under the VAT system, it's a process of ensuring real-time VAT compliance and transaction recording. That is what fiscalization is. So it could be through different devices, whether physical device or electronic device or softwares. And it also aims to reduce VAT leakages and enforce accountability. And like I said, it uses digital tools like the e-invoice, POS integration, and data analytics. Can I ask, is my screen changing? Is it changing?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
good.
changing.
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is an e-invoice solution? It's an accounting software installed on PCs, phones, or tablets, and cloud-based platform. Example of e-invoicing solution include online cash registers, virtual cash registers on tablets. It may also include invoice numbers or code issuance through an e-invoice system or portal. It can even be as low as what we call a USSD code.
Code issuance
So
through invoice system.
USSD code. So it can go beyond depending on the level of taxpayers we have. Today, many accounting software already have e-invoice. So if a company uses Oracle, if they use QuickBooks, they use SAP, they use Microsoft. All this already have e-invoicing system. So this is not new to businesses. What is e-invoicing again? It's an electronic invoice or e-tax invoice. Refers to the use of electronic system and process of generating, issuing, transmitting, and managing tax-related documents, such as invoices, receipts, and other transactional documents. You know, there's difference between in accounting or in commerce, let me say basic commerce, there's difference between invoice and receipts. Invoice is simply the one that lists the goods and services you wish to, that you have supplied, rather, that's been supplied. While receipt is an evidence of payment made for such supply. In this case, it is believed that once supply is made, an invoice is issued. Sorry, someone is making marks on the presentation online. Please, can you stop that, please? So, for when you say invoicing, any document that is issued that shows the supply of goods or services is an invoice and issued electronically. So what's different between invoicing and fiscalization? Broadly, e-invoicing is part of fiscalization, but in some crimes, it's been separated by some terms, like by focus area, data format, technology used, and the main purpose or integration. In the law, the law calls it generally fiscalization, and now narrow it to e-invoicing. So let me move on. What's the benefits for tax administration? For tax administration, real-time VAT data collection. It is good to reduce tax evasion, fraud and underreporting. It reduces fraud, it reduces underreporting. It enhances compliance, monitoring, and enforcement. It also supports macroeconomic planning with accurate data. That means government can actually rely on the data from the e-invoicing system to do planning. You can even use that to measure some part of when you're doing your measurement for the GDP. So it's also allowed. Efficient refund processing, accurate invoicing data, aid faster handling of VAT refunds. So when a taxpayer makes VAT refund, there's enough data to confirm such claim, and so it makes it easier for tax authority to process such. And what's the benefit of e-invoicing to taxpayers? It simplifies VAT filing for them. Automated invoicing removes manual entry, errors, and ease filing. It also reduces audit risk through transparent records. Because the tax authority already have that information, the risk of audit is very reduced. Digital invoices. It provides taxpayer with digital invoices, which improves accuracy and record keeping. Faster refund claims is also a benefit to taxpayer when they make claim and they receive their refund as quick as possible. It also reduces administrative burden. Yes, you don't need, it reduces some level of documentation. It also boosts reputation, compliance with digital systems, enhances credibility of taxpayers, because tax authority already seen all the transaction and where taxpayer make files and it's in line with what tax authority already have, it makes that gives that credibility. Now, successful jurisdictions that have piloted the e-invoicing system over the years. Rwanda is a very popular example in Africa, and it's a model in Africa. Rwanda right now developed the e-invoicing system for the rest of the Eastern Africa, and Rwanda, having been successful in their own system, they develop a solution that they sell around the East Africa region. South Africa also started their pilot in 2024, and right now they've even achieved as much as 50 billion South Africa rand in a year of piloting. Brazil also have a model that they use, a model. Brazil is almost like Nigeria too. They the population-wise and the informality of their system also is a good model to look at. Italy has one which they piloted since 2019. India also has one of the oldest, reformed in 2020. And so they've also been working on their invoicing and expanding every day. Kenya also have one. Kenya, these are jurisdictions which we could mirror, and they've been successful there. So why can it not be successful in Nigeria? What's happening? Okay, now, what is the legal framework for this? When Nigeria first tried to deploy this some years back, there were some restrictions from taxpayers asking for the basis in law to deploy e-invoicing, considering that taxpayers' computer may need to connect to government systems, government portals using APIs. So that's the basis in law. Section 13A of our present VAT Act provides that a taxable person who makes a taxable supply shall, in respect of that supply, furnish the purchaser with a tax invoice and containing the following, which is the taxpayer identification number, TIN, name and address, VAT registration number, date of supply, name of purchaser, gross amount, and a tax charge and rate. This is the information required on a tax invoice, which means it's compulsory for everyone carrying out an economic activity making supply to issue an invoice, a tax invoice. Then Section 2 of that law says that a tax invoice shall be issued on supply, whether or not payment is made at the time of supply. So you don't just say, oh, I've not received payment, that's why I didn't issue invoice. No, it does not say, it's not based on payment, it is based on supply. And furthermore, in the next dispensation we're entering, talking about the new tax reform, Section 158 of the Nigerian Tax Act provides that a taxable person making a taxable supply shall implement fiscalization system deployed by the service in accordance with the Nigerian Tax Administration Act. Now, it further defines what constitutes fiscalization system, which may include fiscal equipment, consisting electronic device, software solution, or communication system involving a secured network or any combination of components for electronic invoicing and data transfer as the service may prescribe or deploy. So this is very simple, just to let us understand what constitutes. Paul Njoku, please stop touching the presentation. It's putting a mark on it. Thank you. Section 23(1) of the Nigerian Tax Administration Act also now provides that where the service have deployed an electronic fiscal device, any person making taxable supply shall means it's compulsory, use the electronic fiscal system for recording and reporting all supply. So this is compulsory, everyone doing business in Nigeria needs to adopt to this. So furthermore, because when the law makes pronouncements, it needs to now bring sanctions for those who fail to comply. Section 104 of Nigerian Tax Administration Act also provides that consequences for non-compliance, and it says a taxable person that fails to process a taxable supply through the fiscalization system is liable to an administrative penalty of 200,000 naira, plus that means administrative, that is a taxable transaction, though. Not that at the end of the year you are being held and you say, oh, it's one of 200,000 naira. For every transaction that has failed, that the person failed to process through that platform, the person is liable to 200,000 naira plus 100% of the tax due on that transaction and an interest at CBN prevailing monetary policy rate per annum. So I believe that is clear. Now, compliance and regulatory requirement. This is similar to what I just read, so let me just skip this. Now, yes, so what are the opportunities also for Nigeria and for everyone? It's going to help in expanding Nigerian tax to GDP ratio, which is currently a little above 10%. It enhances data analytics for economic forecasting. It positions Nigeria as a hub for digital innovation. Yes, when the law prescribes something, and sometimes there are still challenges that need to be considered. We know that there are some challenges, and one of them is technology adoption by MSMEs. People are fast that, oh, how will small businesses also connect? How will they be able to understand? Yes, the service is considering every aspect so they can be captured. I'll still speak to that. So the initial cost of integration and training, even if it is free to integrate, definitely training may not be free at all level. Even the time that they use as to learn as a cost. So this need to be considered by all. Ensuring internet penetration and access. Most systems, because it is highly technology based, internet is very essential. So we need to consider that too as a challenge. And continuous user support and feedback loops. We understand that sometimes there may be challenges, and when taxpayers need to address things and some downtime may occur, irrespective of how fast it is to fix them. They may disrupt business, but these are some of the challenges we need to consider. It comes with technological advancements. And let me now speak to the FIRS solution. What I've spoken is about the general deployment of e-invoicing. Now, FIRS is coming up with a solution called the Merchant Buyer Solution. That is the name of the FIRS e-invoicing system. This is developed, this supports both SMEs and large corporations, and also is compatible with UBL and PEPO standards. These are standards globally for transmitting invoices. So business, how will system works? Businesses issue invoices using accounting system. Invoices are encrypted and signed by FIRS, delivered via an access point provider. And the trading partner decrypt and validate this transaction. So there are people they call access point provider who helps to connect businesses with the FIRS for a seamless transaction. FIRS, so they're already in place, so there's no need for a taxpayer to be looking for one. It's just to check which access is easier for them to connect to. Now, the implementation timeline. Pilot program started with large taxpayers in 2024, and full rollout with the same large taxpayers is expected to start in November 2025, after it was moved from July. Other MSMEs will be integrated in phases. And the features, security features, is that the invoice system is highly secured. It has advanced encryption and safeguard sensitivity. Access restricted to authorized users. Only those who are authorized we have the access to the system. Encourages secure business-to-business transaction and business-to-government transaction. Furthermore, this is how to onboard on the system. You visit the FRS.gov.ng system, you log in and sign using the Tax Pro Max credentials. So you don't need multiple credentials. A taxpayer just uses Tax Pro Max credential and go to Enable Me e-invoicing and dashboard, then fill out the enablement form with all required business and operational information. Then you receive a confirmation email once your account has been successfully enabled. Log into your e-invoicing portal, read and accept the privacy protection policy process. Then under the Manage Access Point, provider sections, review and set permissions for the selected access point provider. Then go to your developer setting to view and copy the API keys. The keys are essential for your system integration with FRS Merchant Buyer Platform. Then create a name. Create name and download your cryptograph keys. Use to digitally sign invoices and ensure invoice integrity. If you are working with a SI, and so these are some of the technical things, and then under the system integration tab to grant them access to your credentials securely. Begin managing your end-to-end invoicing process. So this system will now allow you to continue to issue your invoice. There may be some tweaking of the process for some other class of persons, depending on the solution they use and their class of the system, our class of systems. So FI is always available to support everyone in the course of deployment. But the first thing is to first register and get onboarded on the system. Now, rollout, like I said, pilot deployment large tax since 2024. I've explained this in my earlier phase. Then there will be full sensitization by FRS from July to December this year, and this is one of them. We are going to be doing more corporately, and so stay tuned. Rollout plan continues from large taxpayers November 2024, this out till June 2025. And so right now it's full deployment that we're waiting for. I think and in conclusion, I'll say the VAT fiscalization and invoicing are not just regulatory changes. They are catalysts for modernizing Nigeria's tax ecosystem. For taxpayers, they offer a clearer and more streamlined compliance pathway. For tax administrators, they present tools for accurate reporting and reduce leakage. With proper implementation and collaboration, these reforms can strengthen revenue mobilization and support sustainable development nationwide. We believe that when we sustain development nationwide, all of us will benefit for it. I say thank you for giving me the floor as I stop here and await your questions.
Wow, thank you so very much, sir, for that very erudite and robust presentation. Well, I'm sure that our viewers and participants have a lot of questions for you and reactions. I can see a lot of hands clapping for you. Thank you so very much. I just want to ask that you should please continue to be on because I'm sure questions are going to start coming in very soon. But before then, I just want to quickly do a summary of what you have said. You gave us an historical background of fiscalization. You took us through the process of fiscalization from inception until the launching of the merchant buyer solution in 2025. You told us why e-invoicing, because there's a global shift towards digitalization and also to align with international standards. And it also gives real-time transmission to curb fraud and leakages. You also said that it's also invoices are evidences of payments and means of financing. You also gave us a difference between VAT fiscalization and e-invoicing. You went ahead to tell us the benefits for taxpayers and administration and administration. Yes, you gave us a real-time data collection and you gave us examples of successful jurisdictions, stating Rwanda as a successful jurisdiction, followed by South Africa, Brazil, and a host of others. You went ahead to talk about the legal framework, and you referred us to Section 13A of the VAT Act, and you also gave us Section 158 of the Nigerian Tax Act and Section 23 and Section 104 of the Nigerian Tax Administration Act, which supports this process. You also went ahead to tell us about the benefits to Nigeria. It said it will expand our Nigerian tax to GDP ratio. It will also make us a hub for digital innovation and enhanced data analytics. It gives challenges such as internet downtime and training of human resources, and of course, having to configure our system to that of the FIRS. You went ahead to say the FIRS merchant buyer solution is a global standard for transmitting invoices, which is encrypted, and that it is highly a secured platform. You even went further to show us how to onboard to the FIRS merchant buyer solution. Once again, sir, I say a very big thank you to you at this moment as I hand over now to Dr. Mrs. Odunayo Ane, our National Vice Chairperson, to take us through the question and answer session. Thank you. Dr. Ane, you have the floor, please, for the next 10 minutes.
Thank you very much. Very erudite, because you are an erudite presenter yourself. I mean, thank you for taking us through the summary of everything that was presented today. To Mr. Michael Olufemi Olarinde, thank you very much for that insightful and extremely very engaging presentation. I'm very sure that when you have time and you start looking through the chat box, you will see that as you were presenting, almost everyone was asking for the paper. So, and some people were putting, I noticed some people were putting their email addresses in the chat box. What I want to say is we will share it on the general platform, or maybe after consultation with the national chairperson, we'll find a better way of sharing it, since we are so many and we have so many men, the E for she's, on this program today. So if we say we are going to share it on just general platform, it might not go around. But the fact that the system we use today is such that you registered with your email, that means everyone that was registered or that is on call, whose email has been taken by the system, with the support of the technical team, I'm sure you will all get the slides. Another thing I want to say before I continue is if you have questions, please put in the chat box and then we'll call you. Let me start by thanking Mr. Michael Olarinde very much once again for the insightful and engaging presentation, and standing on already established protocols, because I don't want to waste our time. I would like to especially, of course, there are some protocols that you cannot stand on unless you want to break your own leg. So I would like to specially acknowledge the presence in absentia of the 17th president and chairman of our council, Mr. Innocent Ohagwa, FCTI, the vice president of our own institute, Dr. Samuel Kato, who told us that he's always in our programs, either when we know or when we don't know, for being our supporter, our very able supporter, our own Balogun. Thank you very much. And thank you for the opening remark that you gave. I was very thrilled by that. Thank you very, very much. To my own national chairperson, Dr. Caroline Ndubusi, thank you. Thank you for leading this ship and for steering it the right way. Thank you. I mean, you can see the number of people here today. It says a lot about the kind of leader that you are. And I'm very pleased to be working side by side with you. To all our esteemed council members, and everybody, most especially, permit me to singularly point out our immediate past chairperson in person of Dr. Bosede Kanoba, who is the technical advisor to this, our technical committee, for our support. I sincerely thank you. Like I said, I won't be able to mention everybody because the protocol has already been established by Mrs. Tony Campbell. So on that note, we proceed now to the question and answer session. And dear members, this is your opportunity to further engage with this topic. You should ask questions and share your professional insights. So not only questions, you can share insights on the e-invoicing system for tax administration in Nigeria. May I please request that you kindly keep your questions brief and focused so that we can make the most of our limited time. So let's begin. And like I said, I would prefer if you put your questions in the chat box, then we'll read it out. But where we cannot do that, you can raise up your hand. If I see your hand, I will call you. If there are many hands, I've seen two, I will assign numbers. And then we will allow you all ask your questions before the presenter will answer. The reason being that some questions may dovetail into another. And so it will mean answering them together. So I can see two hands. Number one, I can see Taufik Osheni. That's number one. Number two for me is Dr. Gossin Iro. Those are the two that I can see for now. So at my prompt, you will unmute yourself and then ask the question while I go to the chat box. So Mr. Taufik Oseni, please unmute yourself and ask your question. And if you are not able to unmute, please let me know so that we can ask you can unmute. I can see that you have unmuted. Please go ahead and ask your question, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure meeting you all. And I thank our able presenter, Mr. Olarinde. I just have a few questions. Number one, this e-invoicing software solutions, is it going to be real-time or company like ShopRite and others, would they step down their own software they are using for the e-invoicing solution, or what will be the leakage process? Are they going to be using it real time, or there will be a time that they will be uploading their sales and whatever they have sold per day or per month or quarterly, they will upload it to the FRS solutions? Or what is the process for that? Is there any cost attached to it? Because sometimes I've seen different software solution providers try to sell their solutions and something like that. So what is the cost, or is it free? So that's my question, sir.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Taufik Oseni. I'm sure the presenter has had the question and he will do justice to it when it is time to answer. Second person is Dr. Godson Iro. Can you please unmute and ask your question, sir? Dr. Godson Iro.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you,
Hello?
sir. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you all, and thank you, our erudite presenter. My question is, I just have a few questions. Number one is, presently in the country, we have an internet penetration of about between 45–48%. Now, this internet penetration in broadband penetration in Nigeria, what is the government doing, to elevate our critical national infrastructure to be able to support this initiative? Because if you even to log into this program now, I suffered a little. You log in, it will throw you out. So Now, you know that businesses, as far as they are concerned, time is of essence. Somebody is buying, and you are telling the person you don't have network to raise, the invoice. It affects the timing. And so, what is the government or maybe FRS intends to do about internet penetration? Then the second one is it's also NRS now going forward. Is it working on encouraging voluntary compliance instead of relying heavily on the provisions of steep penalties, so as to encourage people to come into the tax net fully, instead of weighing the sledgehammer of penalty interest and thinking that will only secure compliance. So these are the two major concerns I have.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm sure the presenter has also had your question. I'm also writing, just in case there's anyone that is missed. May I call on Mr. Adebi Yoke to please unmute himself and ask his question? Mr. Adebi Yoke. If you are not there, I will call on Mr. Cletus Ita. Mr. Cletus Ita, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah, good afternoon.
If you are not able to unmute, let me know.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, so Mr. Cletus, please hold on. Mr. Adebi first. Let's have Mr. Adebi, please. Adebi has unmuted. So, Mr. Cletus, you speak after Mr. Adebi. Thank you. Mr. Adebi,
yeah, thank you, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam. So just a quick one. I just want to quickly contribute to answer the question of the last speaker. Government is rolling out 90,000 kilometers of fiber infrastructure around the country, starting January next year as well. So that will enhance broadband penetration and connectivity for everyone across the country. So that is just to quickly put in to that question or comment that was mentioned earlier. Then the second one is basically, I think I've put it in the box already. How will educational institutions and be invoiced, with this going forward, considering the fact that there is a peculiarity of circumstance going on within schools and educational institutions? That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for making it short and brief, and thank you for your intervention. I'm sure everybody has heard that federal government is rolling out a 90-kilometer of fiber infrastructure to ensure connectivity. So that should not be a challenge. That's what he has said. I'm sure the speaker will also speak more on that. Mr. Cletus, you have the floor.
Yeah, good afternoon. My question is, if the Nigerian Revenue Service have the capacity to handle this data that will be generated from the invoices across the country, across various companies. Some of these companies are very big, some are SMEs. And secondly, how are they going to apply this invoice? What is it for? How are they going to apply it in tax administration? So you should take us through the practical application of it. What is the end product of accumulating this e-invoices data?
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you are done. I hope I'm not cutting you short.
Yes,
Mr.
I'm
Cletus,
done.
are you done? Thank you very much. May I have Mrs. Comfort Erin? Can you please unmute yourself? Comfort, please unmute yourself and ask your question or make your intervention. Unmute. I can see you unmuted and then you muted yourself again. Just press the mute button.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my question is, during the lecture or talk, I heard him say that the November process or onboarding was for large scale, and I saw it on the platform too, that it's for large scale businesses. So I want to ask, can SMEs, also smaller companies register in the year, like in 2025, while awaiting to use the system in 2026? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I'm sure presenter will do justice to it when it's time to answer. May I call on past chairperson Ajia Kudirat Abdulhamid? Past chairperson Ajia Kudirat Abdulhamid. Please unmute yourself, ma. I'm going to stop on Aderemi Haruna. So 3 more people, Nkechi Acheta, Nnasia Sanga, and Aderemi Lekun Haruna. Those are the people I'm going to take. After that, we'll go to the chat box. Please, other people, you can put your questions online and we will direct it to the speaker. Ajia, you have the floor, ma. Ajia Abdulhamid, please unmute yourself, ma. Okay, if Ajia is not able to unmute, can we have Nkechi Acheta?
I've unmuted.
All right.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. So, Nkechi, please step down. Allow Ajia to talk. She's our past
Okay.
chairperson. Yeah, thank you. Ajia, you have the floor, ma.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma.
For want of time, let me not start going through the protocol as it has been well established. I joined late, but I heard that the paper is going to be shared. So that has answered the first question that I had. The second one was
Dami,
partially answered. Hello?
please go ahead,
Am
ma.
I
Please
being
go ahead.
heard?
Go ahead, ma. We can hear
Okay.
you, ma.
Okay. The second question was partially answered. The one that has to do with we not having the free access when it comes to networking and then the internet provision. But that has been partially answered again by the fact that provision will be made in 2026. So what happens before then? I think we should be proactive in all of these things. If truly the implementation of these compliance is to be made seamless and to encourage individuals to key into it, all of these things should be done with much swiftness rather than government will do. We should get all of these things put in place. Also, my third question has to do with data analysis and all what have you. How do we do these things as tax administrators with the shortfall or inadequate provision when it comes to infrastructural provisions? We know very well that the cost of data now has skyrocketed. Is there a means of bringing this down to encourage full participation by all? There are still places within the central, like Abuja town now, where I am. I had it was difficult for me to kind of enroll into this program early enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ajia, ma. Mrs. Acheta, Nkechi Acheta, you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the privilege. Thank you for the presentation. Please, I would like to know the registration with the merchant buyer solution. Is it only companies that are turning over 100 million that should register? Like those below should not bother at all to register? Then secondly, I can see that the rolling out is going to start with big transactions in November. So assuming a company has not yet been onboarded by January 2026, I hope these penalties that were read out to us, 200K, 10%, I hope they will be excused until they are fully onboarded. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure your concerns will be addressed by the speaker. Last but not the least is Mr. Adiremi Lekun Aruna. Please unmute yourself.
Is it not a Hello, good afternoon, ma.
Yes, sir.
And thank you. This is a woman speaking, and
okay.
Appreciation to our presenter. I want to ask a question in respect of the maritime sector. I want to ask, how is the invoice going to be treated? Because for our own transaction, you issue a pro forma invoice. The transaction is not finalized until the meeting is held between MPH, shipping companies, and the terminal operators before the final figure is determined. It could take a week, it could take 2 weeks, it could take 3 weeks. At what point is the VAT on that transaction picked? Is there going to be a provision where reconciliations will be done before a final figure is picked? Why am I saying this? Because for terminal operators, it is possible they have allocated or some vessels have been declared for you, and you have issued the pro forma invoice, and the VAT is picked. And at the end of the day, the vessel may not come. You are not realizing the income. I want to know how it's going to affect us because our transaction is not as immediate as others. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Aruna, for this question. You have already answered I wanted to ask the same question too because I work in the maritime sector, and we also we collect revenue on behalf of the government. So I'm also looking forward to him answering this question. So thank you for joining people from my community. I appreciate you. Unfortunately, I will not be able to call anyone from online again. I'm just going to read from the chat box so that we give everybody the opportunity of having their questions answered. So I'm going to go to the first question, which says, what is the plan of FIRS, if any, with respect to VAT collection in the capital market with respect to this e-invoicing? That's the first question. The second one says, if taxpayers can on board, why is the huge unavoidable? I don't understand this one. So let me go to the next one. I also don't understand this one. The next one says, how can we apply this e-invoicing system to state revenue boards? How can we apply this e-invoicing system to the state revenue boards? Next one says, what is the current assurance that corporate entities are not exposed to third parties who have no business with the entity through e-invoicing or FIRS platform? How is confidentiality going to be assured so that entities will feel free to integrate in this day of data stroke information boom? I think I need to read this again because it's like 3 things joined together. The first thing is, what is the current assurance that corporate entities are not exposed to third party? This is about data, breach of data. Number 2 is, how is confidentiality going to be assured so that entities will feel free to integrate into the system? That's about that. The next one says, said we normally notice network issues by the 30th of June every year for December accounts filing on the Tax Pro. What has the FIRS put in place to avoid what taxpayers do go through that period due to the number of people using the platform at the same time, not to happen while issuing invoices? I'll read this again because I think it's a very germane question. We normally notice network issues by the 30th of June of every year while filing for December on the accounts on the Tax Pro. This is the question, what has the FIRS put in place to avoid what taxpayers go through during this period, especially as many people might be using it when they start issuing the invoices? The next one says, what is the space? Okay, the person commended you, sir. So thank God for that. She said, Oladeji Michael, my question is, since this is the first time this is coming into our country for the first time, first question, what is the space the FGN is given in 2026 for some businesses who will not be able to key into the newly introduced e-invoicing? First question, what is the space the FGN, I'm reading what this person has written, is given in 2026 for some businesses who might not be able to key into the newly introduced e-invoicing? Number 2, what about the unbanked businesses who do not have computer systems? What happened to them? Thank you. The last but not the least, okay, one more. What arrangement of inclusivity is NRS and government making to provide affordable fiscalization system for SMEs who cannot afford the infrastructure involved in invoicing and fiscalization in general? Last but not the least, the others will be answered online. What is the current revenue threshold for e-invoicing? Thank you, everyone. Okay, let me just take this last one. How is the e-invoicing going to be implemented? I think it was answered while he was presenting the paper, but okay. So thank you. There are so many. This shows that people were listening with rapt attention. And if you have to read all the questions, we may not be able to leave today. So let's stop where I've stopped. I'll yield the floor back to our presenter so that he can answer the questions to the best of his ability. Mr. Oladeji Michael, you have the floor, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. It's Olarinde Michael. So, you
so
say
sorry, sir.
that...
I was reading it from the platform. Somebody wrote Oladeji Michael. I just read it.
No problem. You say it shows that people were listening with rapt attention. Me, I did not agree with that. It shows that some did not listen because I've answered many of the things they asked. But I'm going to go over them again. Thank you very much for those questions. I know that some might have joined late and some probably did not understand. I don't expect everyone to understand everything. That is why there's questions, time for questions. Yes, the first one, is it going to be real time or any step going to be real time? So I would say that yes, it can be real time, but it's not necessarily going to be real time. The most important thing is that the connection will be secured. There will be no room for human intervention to upload and download later. It's going to be end-to-end, which means it's going to receive that information from system to system. Now, so it's majorly supposed to be real time, but there's going to be provision for the ones that can be, that when there's downtime, they can connect later. So he also asked what is the cost attached. So what we are saying is that depending on the sector the person is, many electronic systems and many softwares, QuickBooks, SAP, Oracle, many of them already have e-invoicing. So it's automatic. Many of them are already issuing e-invoicing. What we are just saying is that you're going to connect to the FRH merchant buyer solution that enable transmission from their system to the FRS system. And so that is just it. So it's not, there's not supposed to be any cost. So there's not supposed to be any cost whatsoever. FI is also going to provide solutions that you can, for those who that do not have a solution, can adapt to use as their own invoicing system. So it's simple. So FI is going to provide that, depending. So why we are starting with large taxpayer is because all of them, there's no large tax that does not have an accounting solution they are using today. An e-invoicing solution, all of them have. So it's easy to connect them, and they cannot be complaining about data because they are using internet right now to do their business. So most of the complaint people will give is not there for the large taxpayers. We already started pilot phase since 2024, and many telecom companies have been onboarded, and it has worked well for them. So let me move to the second one. Dr. Hiro asks, what's government doing about broadband penetration and the rest? Like I said too, depending on the business sector, many businesses are already using internet. So issuing an invoice will not be an extra internet obligation, consumption. So if you're already using internet for your business, it's simple. It's just attaching an invoice issuance solution to it and making your business even more efficient, make your documentation easier and all those things. If you have not thought about it, government is now providing you even a solution that you can adopt to use. So it's not going to have an extra cost for internet systems. And I want to thank, so I believe depending on so it gets to a point where government will even deploy, depending on how small your business is, as small as USSD code for you e-invoice. So you could get as small as USSD code, which you do not actually need an internet for. So these are some of the systems that can be used. I want to thank Debbie for that intervention and giving us that information about government deploying broadband solution by 2026. However, it's like I said, the people we are onboarding by November is a large tax, and every other person, the solution that they can adopt that will suit their business without cost will be developed and given as and when due. Educational institutions, just like every other person who issues an invoice, issue your invoice through the solution. That's just simple. It's not the first thing we should consider is not even about tax. Yes, the end product will be government trying to make businesses transparent so that reporting can be easy and reporting can also be trusted. That is the essence of the invoicing. So you issue invoice, everyone who does business issues invoice. And so the same way everyone issue invoice, educational issue invoice. Also, it does not matter whether you are exempt from tax or not. It's reporting. Everyone who is exempt from tax still have the obligation to file returns. You still have the obligation to report. So whether you are exempt or not, you still have to report your transactions. So that's what government is saying. You see everyone carrying out supplies. So that is just what we're talking about now. Mr. Cletus talk about if NRS has the capacity to handle data generated from businesses. I want to tell you, I want to assure you that FIS have the capacity, have all the infrastructure and the rest. And we know that's why we are also rolling out in phases so that we can continue to provide more infrastructure to expand. So as we onboard the large tax, I'm sure we are ready for them. We are going to definitely, as we add more, we expand. So, and how to apply in tax administration. Okay, now if you are, so in tax administration, I said something about using e-invoicing in tax administration. I said about VAT administration. Let me go to VAT. In VAT, we have what we call the input and output mechanism. When you purchase a good, you pay VAT and you pay input VAT. So when you pay VAT, the VAT you pay there is referred to as input VAT. So when you sell that same item, you collect VAT, and that VAT is referred to as output VAT. For you to claim your input VAT from your output VAT, the e-invoicing system will help the tax authority to see your purchases and to see your sales. So when you're taking your input from your output, it can be transparent. It's easy. And where you have also done zero-rated, you sell an exempt goods or zero-rated goods, government can see that you have incurred VAT and also give you a refund of your VAT. So that is it for VAT. It helps you to, and gives that trust between taxpayer and tax authority. And also when there's need for tax refund, it is easy because government already have all the transactions, and so nobody needs to. It's also help to reduce audit processes. Government already have that information, so suspecting a taxpayer and want to audit that taxpayer, so will not really be there. We need to now see other serious triggers before the tax man comes after a company. So it's not a random selection for auditing. Once government can know, oh, this is a compliant taxpayer, we have up their transaction. Also, for purpose of even income tax, there are times you need to claim expenses under the income tax when government people are arguing whether it's the amount is fictitious, amount is correct, amount is not correct. These expenses was incurred, it wasn't incurred. Those invoicing records would have helped to clarify and allow that cost. It will come to a point where when government does not have the purchases or expenses incurred, when government does not have that information in the invoicing, such expenses will be disallowed for tax purposes. These are places, and also ultimately we will now be going into an era where filing system will now reduce. Filing complication will reduce. It will get to a point because government already have your records. Government system, the system prepares a quasi or a simple accounts and send to a taxpayer and say, taxpayer, based on our system, this is your transaction for the year, and this is your tax computation. System prepares a dummy or a mini account for you and send to you and say, please verify and or update. So government already have that information, and so you now have to now verify to the extent that which that information is correct. If there are some that government did not pick, the system did not pick, you now update that. It's done in many climes today. I've seen that process done in Sweden practically, where government sends out even your accounts to you and tell you if you should validate it. So we get there, and it is compliant for everyone. It reduces the cost of it reduces the cost of compliance, and that is how it will work for tax administration. Okay, Madam Comfort Erin asks the November date, can SME on board? Is it only for large tax? Yes, everyone can register at the moment. Everyone can register while you wait for the time to be onboarded. So it's allowed for everyone to register now. Why we are just giving time for saying large tax is because if there are peculiar issues to those sectors or those level of taxpayers, FRS will not, FRS want to handle it as at when they are ready, and that's why they don't want to onboard them now. But if there's no issue, I'm sure that no one will stop them. It's just that, you have to support them too if there is any need. So we want to do it in phases, so it allows to address everyone's need. But you can go and register on that platform to be onboarded. But no one will make it compulsory for them now. Ajia Abdulhamid asks internet penetration. I think I've answered this question. Data analytics, how do we use it? Well, I don't know whether, when you say data analytics, I heard you talk about data usage. So data usage, I've already addressed that. It's not a problem for the e-invoicing system for now. And before we onboard, I'm sure the solution that is right for every business will be given to such business, so that there's no complaint about data, there's no complaint about infrastructure, there's no complaint about support. Nkechi Echeta asks for registration. Is it what will happen? Is it only 100 million threshold? No, please. E-invoicing is supposed to be for everyone carrying out a taxable supplies. Everyone who is in business, everyone who is in commercial activity is required to use an e-invoice. However, like I said, we are still doing it in phases. We are starting with large tax, and by the time we are going to get to the MSMEs, they will be duly notified, and the solution they will use that will suit them or the peculiarity of their business will also be announced. So penalty will not apply until such taxpayers have been requested to onboard and they fail to onboard. So the penalty in the law says where you have been asked to onboard or to use and you have failed to use it, that is when the penalty will apply to you. So you'll first be notified to use it, and when you fail to use it, and when you are being notified, you'll be given what's it called? Deadline. You'll be given grace time to do that. So it's not going to be an immediate thing. The least date you'll be given is 30 days. And so it is not going to be the simplest. And I did not say it's just 30 days. I said the least date. But now, even from now, I'm sure that all businesses are already notified that e-invoicing is commencing on 1st November. So, of course, they should start preparing while their own level and sectors will be notified in due time. Maritime's invoice system. So I heard about Maritime issuing pro forma invoice, then later they agree and issued. But I believe that when the agreement has been done, an invoice that you seal the right transaction will also be issued. What we are saying is that the invoice that is accurate, the accuracy of your business transaction, we should have the most accurate invoice. That is it. I will also not cut it out. I understand the sector totally. I am sure that where there is peculiarity in certain sector, such sector can approach the FRS and they can help also provide a system that suits that sector. So it can't be one size fits all. Solution cannot be one size fits all. There will always be an opportunity to tweak it. So this solution is not a solution just bought. It's a solution developed by FRS. So it's not, so where there is a need to tweak it to suit a certain sector or business, it's definitely going to be done. So don't fret. If you believe that your sector is not adequately supported, please approach the FRS and it will be done. It will be done. It's I'm sure many of the organizations in that sector are large tax. So if they've not been onboarded, they've not tried it now, I think they should. I will also take this as a notification, though it's informal, but since because of my level, I will ensure that I take this back, and the FRS will look into the peculiarity of that sector, and I will urge that members of that maritime sector that are here should also put forward an official communication to the FRS. I will support it from my side to ensure that it is attended to before that deadline. And I will even call the e-invoicing team, which I support, to plan, if they've not yet, or it's not on their plan, to plan a sensitization for that sector. Going forward, somebody asked, they say, VAT, okay, the capital market. They also asked, how are you planning this in the capital market? Like I said, for the maritime, I am sure invoices are issued in the capital market too. When they are issued, it's the same thing. Capital market is even very sophisticated. They already have electronic systems, and so it's easy to onboard on the FRS invoicing solution. So it's the same thing. They are not separated. So when we talk about tax, we always talk it in general, and looking at if you have a special and peculiarity in your system, a uniqueness in your industry, you can always come forward. There is room. It accommodates every system. So how to apply e-invoicing to State Revenue Board. So the e-invoicing solution in Nigeria is a national project. When I say national project, it is being anchored by the FIRS. The greatest, the first point of call that we are using the e-invoicing solution for is for VAT administration. However, it's not limited to VAT administration, because this e-invoicing system will provide a whole lot of data that everyone can use. Number one, for State Revenue Board, what it means is that we're going to be having transactions from everyone, including persons, including individuals. So it could provide a whole lot of data that can be exchanged with the State Board of Internal Revenue for tax administration. And so if on the invoicing portal, we have seen that a particular person have transaction running to 1 billion naira in a year, and is coming to file you an assessment that has a turnover or income of 5 million naira. This is a red flag. By the time we have an harmonized database that allows every taxpayer to be able to run with this, it will help. So, and when I say State Board of Internal Revenue, please, exchange of data, it is under a very serious system, and considering that they are also tax authority, the law provides the basis. The law provides those that you can share information with, and it has to be strictly, also, it has to strictly be government. It has to strictly be in line with the law. So no one will share information that is not with a third party. So please consider that it's tax information and its confidentiality is highly serious. And that takes me to the next question. How is confidentiality and security of the system? So if you, from my presentation, I have spoken about how secure the system is. The system uses decryption, so they are not, the invoices are not sent like you scanning a document that everyone can see what is on that document. They are decrypted documents. So only the people who are concerned, only the tax authority and the person who have sent it can decrypt those information. And so it is highly secured. Those systems are highly secured. The system to system, there's no intervention in between except those who have been authorized. So, and the authority would have been given by both parties involved in that transaction. So it is highly secured. It's highly secured. And please also, the law even provides for sanctions for tax authority concerning confidentialities where information is being spilled. There are severe sanctions for taxman, including imprisonment. And it does not limit who that taxman is, whether he's the executive chairman of the FIRS or board members. They are all, the law provides that such sanction can be meted to them if they are found culpable. Network breach on the 30th of June and filing. Well, as much as I would say, FIRS is always always expanding its network systems, expanding its infrastructure to ensure that it can accommodate as much as possible. I will also plead that when people have 6 months to file a tax returns, and everyone come on the last day, it's just like a stampede. When they say everyone, you can go, and everyone decides to go through the door at the same time, it's just like a stampede. It's as much as it's not supposed to be, it's not an excuse for not having a good system, but it's a test. It's a thing that tests the system to see how big it is. But I will also advise that people try and fulfill this obligation, not because on the day the grace elapses. Don't forget that filing of returns that ended in December, in June, is the 6 months is a grace period. And so within 6 months, we could do what we need to do that will, and not wait till the end of the day. Like I said, FRS continue to expand this infrastructure to ensure it can address this issue well. The next question is, say, what is the space the FGN is given to businesses who may not be able to key into the e-invoicing system by January 2026? By 2026, like I said, it's not that everyone should just get into it by January 2026. But the large taxpayers have been told it's going to be onboarding by November. And that is no longer voluntary. It is now according to the law. So they will get into it by November 2026, while others will follow suit. Now everyone know about it. Like I said, notice has been given, and everyone should prepare for it. Once the service is ready to onboard a sector or onboard a class of taxpayer, they will be notified. And so there's enough grace. That's why we've started talking about it, so that people will start knowing. The day you start knowing about it, they should start getting ready. Because everyone is already issuing invoice in their business. By issuing an e-invoicing system, we want to make it as simple and easy as possible. Someone asked for revenue threshold for e-invoicing. There will be no threshold later. But for now, we are still onboarding large tax. So we may be doing that when we are doing in phases. We may be doing that by thresholds, depending. Now the large tax we are even onboarding is from 5 billion. I think the next one, the November one, I think is those who have turnover of 5 billion. While others will follow later. So I believe I've addressed all questions. I want to commend the moderator who gave a comprehensive brief of all I said. Indeed, you are a good student. I was able to take down so much notes while I was speaking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Odunayo.
Okay, let me just round up. Thank you once again, Mr. Michael Olufemi Olarinde. This time around, I chose to call all your names so that you can see that I've internalized it. For your thoughtful and well-articulated responses to the questions raised. We truly appreciate the clarity you brought to this discussion. We are especially grateful for your commitment to supporting the peculiarities of the maritime industry, the assurance of sensitization efforts, and for allaying concerns around data breaches and confidentiality. These reassurances go a long way in building trust and confidence in our system. To all our members and participants, thank you for your active engagement. Your questions and contributions have significantly enriched this session. We also would like to extend our appreciation to those who supported with additional insights and clarifications as we were going on. Thank you all for making this session impactful. On this note, I'd like to hand over back to our very erudite, Madam Campbell Joy, who is the MC of today. Thank you very much, my sister. And thank you once again, our speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, my National Vice Chairperson, Dr. Odunayo. And that session was well taken. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate you. So before I call on the National Deputy Vice Chairperson in the person of Dame Dena Rose Ajayi FCTI, I would just like to quickly do a brief recognition. We observed some people actually joined in again in the course of the of the presentation. I would like to recognize Professor Teju Shumori. We saw her come in. She was a past president of our great institute and also a life patron of SWIT. I can see she's no longer on the platform, but we'd just like to recognize that we actually saw her. We saw her presence while the presentation was going on. Also permit me to also recognize the presence of some national expos. I can see our publicity secretary, Toye Buseri, is also on the call. Our IPC, Dr. Bosse Ikanoba, FCTI, I recognize you, ma'am. And especially also would like to recognize one of our past national chairperson who actually asked the question, and that was when I observed that she was on this call, and that is Ajia Kudirat Abdulhamid, who was the Auditor General for the Federal Capital Territory. Madam, we appreciate your coming on board and questions that you asked, your inputs. We appreciate each and every one. So at this time now, I would like to call on our National Deputy Vice Chairperson, the person of Dame Denarus Ajayi, for the vote of thanks. Madam, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Campbell. The 17th President and Chairman of Council of our great institute, CITN, Mr. Innocent Chinyere Ohagwa, FCTI. We thank you, sir, for your unwavering support to the Society of Women in Taxation, SWIT. We know you have sent in the Vice President, Dr. Katu, to represent you as a result of your very busy schedule. We appreciate you, sir, for your unwavering support. We do not take this for granted, for you to always be here for us, always. Our session speaker for today, Mr. Michael Olufemi Olarinde. We thank you immensely for sharing your knowledge and allowing us to benefit from your wealth of experience. We are grateful to you, sir. The Vice President of our great institute, Dr. Simon Katu, FCTI, we say a big thank you for your love and unalloyed loyalty to SWIT. Our past CITN President, Professor Teju Shumori, we thank you for always signing in, even out of your very busy schedule. We thank you for signing in for today and always. All our council members of our great institute, CITN present, we say thank you all for your attendance. Our most distinguished registrar and chief executive of CITN, Barrister Mrs. Afolake Osho, FCTI, we thank you for signing in, ma. Our own national chairperson of SWIT, Dr. Chief Mrs. Caroline Mary Undubisi, FCTI, PhD. We thank you for your visionary leadership. We most especially thank you for not jettisoning this technical education, which was started by the immediate past national chairperson, which has gathered so much acceptability. The national vice chairperson of SWIT, Dr. Odoayo Ani, FCTI, we thank you for bringing this topic to our attention this day. It could not have been more apt than now. Dr. Ani is also the technical chairperson of Technical Education Chairperson. We thank you, ma, for all you do for us. Our SWIT immediate past national chairperson and technical advisor to technical committee, Dr. Bosede Ikanoba, FCTI. We thank you for your passion, ma, for this very laudable initiative of technical education, which started during your tenure. Our pioneer chairperson, Dr. Justina Okoro, FCTI. Haja Abdulhamid, we thank you for signing in to this technical session. CITN District Chairman present, we say thank you all. Our SWIT ESCO, our SWIT National ESCO, thank you for your participation. Our SWIT state coordinators, thank you all for participating. SWIT past national and chapter ESCO members, plenty thanks for your participation. Distinguished professional members, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for making this session a laudable one. The entire membership of the technical committee, we appreciate you. We thank you, technical team, for making it possible for us to hold this session today. Many thanks to our distinguished compere for the day, Mrs. Toyin Campbell, FCTI, for anchoring this session. As we look forward to October session and many more, we prayed to the good Lord to keep us in good stead. Amen. Over to you, our compere.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, my National Deputy Vice Chairperson, Dame General Sajayi, FCTI, for that very detailed vote of thanks. So before I call on our National Chairperson, Dr. Caroline Ndubisi, I'd just like to remind our teaming members of our social platform. We are on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. We'd like to see you there. We'd like to see your presence there. Please draw traffic onto the social platforms. My NC, ma'am, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm here now. Thank you, my moderator. To our old dear Femi Olarinde, what can I say? You've done justice to this paper. For me, you've impacted me. You've cleared so much and all the confusion concerning e-invoicing. To that extent, I would like to thank you on behalf of Society of Women in Taxation for shedding light on the e-invoicing system in tax administration in Nigeria, because you've made mention about the definition, the difference between e-invoicing and fiscalization, the benefit of tax administration, for taxpayer as well, the opportunities, the challenges, and of course the FRS solution, the merchant to buyer solution that you made mention for SMEs and large corporations. And you of course referred us to some countries, particularly the Rwanda, that is a model for East African region and all of that. We sincerely thank you, because we know have undoubtedly enhance our understanding of this critical topic. Thank you so very much. We truly appreciate you. And to my own moderator, my sister, Mrs. Tony Campbell, FCTI, thank you for the wonderful moderation. To my National Vice Chairperson, Dr. Odunayani, FCTI, thank you for the Q&A section that was well coordinated. And of course, to my National Deputy Vice Chairperson, Dame Dinarose Ajayi, thank you for delivering the vote of thanks. And we sincerely want to thank everyone on the call, the participants, the E for She, our district chairman everywhere, we thank you. And particularly Obushaki, all the way from Aberdeen, Scotland, United Kingdom. Thank you so much for joining us. All great participants here on the call, your active engagement and thoughtful questions have enriched this discussion. So I want to thank you all sincerely. As we navigate the evolving landscape for tax administration, I would like to encourage every one of us to please apply this knowledge gained today to drive innovation, excellence in our respective organizations. Thank you all for your participation, and I look forward to our next technical session. Oh, lest I forget, I also like to thank our technical team for a job well done for making this presentation seamless. Thank you very much. We are grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Moderator, over to you.
Thank you so much, my national chairperson. Thank you so much for that. So, technical team, can we have the national anthem and the CITN anthem and call it a day? Thank you.
We all put integrity and service with God on our side. We shall attain the dreams of our founding fathers to achieve a tax-driven economy. CITN, CITN, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, promoting that compliance culture. CITN is soaring higher. CITN, CITN, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, promoting that compliance culture. CITN is soaring higher.
Nigeria will own their native land through tribal
Bantam Media, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian song are proud to serve as sovereign of the land. Flag shall be our symbol.
The truth and justice reign.
It is bound to honor, and this will count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain.
Oh God,
Of all creation, grant these our requests, help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice Saturday. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, my
Yes.
MC. Thank you.
Moderator,
Thank you,
so much.
moderator. You did a very beautiful job. Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So we can go for our wedding.
Yeah. Everybody can go for their socials now.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.